As you watch your child grow, it is important to remember that each child develops at his or her own pace, and the range of normal is pretty wide. However, it is helpful to be aware of red flags for potential developmental delays. So today we're talking about speech delays with Ashley Jung, a speech language pathologist, and Dean Wong, who is the executive director of Imua Family Services. Hello, thanks for joining us.
Aloha, thank you.
Ashley, why don't we start with you? Exactly what is a speech language pathologist?
Well, as a speech language pathologist, we help people in their ability to understand and communicate with other communication partners. And we will emphasize and help people communicate, whether it's through spoken language or using sign language, gestures, sometimes pictures, and even print. But any way that we can help other children or individuals to facilitate their quality of life by giving them an efficient and effective way to communicate. That's what we're going to enhance and facilitate.
Okay, good. So when would a child need a speech language pathologist?
Well, the most common times that parents are concerned is when their kids aren't talking. And that's the most common reason why parents talk to their doctors or are referred to Imua Family Services, because their children aren't talking. And that's typically around 18 to 24 months of age. Sometimes parents are concerned about their child's inability to follow directions, or they're not really understanding what their parents are saying, and that might be another reason why they seek out speech language pathology services.
When parents are playing with their children in the park, that's often when they start seeing how their children are interacting with children their own age, and they'll start to notice that, wow, that children is really using a lot of words, or that child is able to say or communicate these issues or things that they're experiencing, and my child isn't doing that. And so those might be some of the first indicators that a parent starts to raise an eyebrow, you know. And
it's so funny that you mentioned that, because you're bringing back all these memories, because parents do compare their children to other children, and that can be both good and bad.
It can be good because there are these scientific milestones that we know that children progress at different levels, at different speeds, and that certain things should start to show up in our children's behavior and in their ability to communicate at certain times. So when you notice, you know, these things start to stand out to you, that's the time to start asking questions.
Now, you were with Imua Family Services. Tell us exactly what the relationship is with having a speech language pathologist. Do you guys have somebody like that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Actually, Ashley is one of our staff. She's one of our speech language pathologists, and we actually have 7 in total. But at Imua Family Services, we provide early childhood development services so that children can reach their full potential. These are children that are referred to us either from birth because they might have a disability or a learning disability, or children that come to us a little bit later as they're not reaching their milestones or maybe start to have some regression in abilities. So we provide services on the island of Maui, Molokai, and Lanai. We have an early childhood development center in Kahului and an office also in Molokai and one on Lanai. So we get the referrals from children and families and pediatricians that are coming to us. It might need a little help and resources. We also have occupational therapists, special instruction teachers, physical therapists, and care coordinators who put all the services together for families.
That is really nice that you guys have these people on staff to help these kids who may need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And early intervention services are available throughout the state. You know, so if you're not in Maui County as an example, and you're trying to find out how can I get a resource for my child on Kauai or the Big Island or Oahu, you certainly could, you know, look up what the local resources are for early intervention services.
Okay, now say a child is referred to you, Ashley. What is the process for helping this child?
So they'll come to us and we'll have a formal evaluation, and we'll look at all their skills, their adaptive skills, social emotional skills. We'll look at their gross motor, fine motor skills, speech skills, and cognitive skills. And what we'll see is I'll look at the different areas of development within the speech pathology field. And those areas are their receptive language, and that is what a child's understanding. Is he following directions? Are they bringing you things that you label in the house? Are they understanding what you're saying to them? Another area that we'll look at is their expressive language skills, and this is the child's ability to talk. What kinds of words are they saying? Are they putting words together? What's their vocabulary look like? The third area that we'll look at is their speech production skills, and this is the child's ability to actually produce the sounds that they need to make the words. And the fourth area is their pragmatic language skills, and this is their ability to use language. Are they using words to request? Are they using words to comment or label? Are they interacting with their parents? Are they interacting with their peers? How are they using language functionally to communicate? So we'll look at those different areas within the field to see if
to
they're...
evaluate them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time, but I have just one last question.
Sure.
What is one thing that you wished parents knew about early childhood intervention?
Well, we really want parents to know to ask questions, and that there are no bad questions, and that they should look for help and look for guidance and seek out other people that would maybe be able to help answer those questions to them and not feel shame for doing so, because 90% of a child's development happens before the age of 6. They're very critical years to access what your child might need. So don't hesitate. If you start to notice something or start to even have a hunch that maybe your child isn't developing on time, find help.
And you know, we talked about this last month, but a lot of parents tend to blame themselves, right? When something like this happens,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I'm not talking to them enough, or I'm not doing this right. So that may not be the case.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just, you know, but it's important to recognize if there is a problem and get the child help if needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you both so much
No,
for being
thank
with
you.
us.
Having us.